Sean Strickland is now the favorite to beat Dricus Du Plessis. You guys did that. And I find that so interesting. Guys, this line has been the most fascinating line. I go over to DraftKings. When this thing gets announced, DDP's a 2-1 favorite. That surprised me. I brought that to you guys. Wow. 2-1. I mean, Strickland was just a 6-1 dog. Put on the performance of a lifetime. Dominated 5 rounds to 0. The GOAT. But he didn't get credit for it. And I was just wondering, what is it that you guys saw? I don't believe that you could name 2 Dricus fights, let alone 3, 4, 5. I don't think you could name 2. I think you only know 1. I think you only know that Dricus fought Robert Whittaker. I don't think you know anything else about him. I don't think you need to know his coach's name. I don't think you could name his gym's name. I think you think he's Canadian. I mean, I'm just sharing with you. But you're willing to part with your money 2-1 over Strickland? That changed. And it got closer and it got tighter. Then the press conference happens. Then the brouhaha happens. As of right now, they're close. Minus 130 to plus 115. These guys are close over at DraftKings, but officially Strickland is the favorite. He closed a 2-1 deficit. Not only he closed it, he took the lead. That's interesting to me. And I also want to know, who would you cheer for? Bet on and cheer for. We're having 2 very different conversations. Like, just by example, who is the good guy? Generally, in the movies, the good guy is the handsome guy. Dricus is a very charismatic person, but I'm not convinced that he's the good guy. Generally, the good guy is the victim that got attacked. Sean Strickland did the attacking, but I'm not convinced that you think he's the bad guy. I really am very interested. When their music hits and they make that walk, who's going to get the louder cheers? Who's going to get the louder boos? Sean Strickland has now become the favorite over DDP, which I have to assume is based on anger. He's pissed off. I think that you guys get that. I think when you go to DraftKings, you follow the basic rule and put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And you know, if you were to ever fight, if that ever happened in your life, whether you've been in one or you almost got in one or whatever it was when you were, I'm going to get this guy, that you were mad, that you had that emotion. And many people will be a little bit more sophisticated of a better and say, no, emotion's bad. I want emotion out of it. I don't agree with those people because I don't believe that it's possible. Leave your emotions, control your emotions. That's what a sociopath does. A regular human being can't do that. They can recognize them, they can take deep breaths, they can follow those steps, they can say the right things, but they can't actually do it. And I think that the bettors are understanding that when it becomes personal, it becomes real. And when it becomes real, a guy is more dangerous. I believe that that's the bet. I don't actually know. All I know is when I went to DraftKings when this was announced, I was surprised. I did not think that DDP, because there's a respect to that. There's an honor. There's a compliment. If DraftKings taking your guys' actions, your money moves the line. So many people don't know what moves the line. You have something that sets a line, but what moves a line is you and only you. And I thought there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. You got a guy that's never been in a main event. That's DDP. And you got a guy that's never been in championship rounds. Versus a guy that just did them. Oh, and by the way, won them in Sean Strickland. Like, there's a lot of things that you would favor Strickland. And as this fight gets closer, and those odds have not only closed, they have changed. I think so is public sentiment. I won't know that till I walk. I will not know that until Bruce Buffer, the guy in the shark suit, says their names and the crowd responds. I won't know, but I am curious. I wish DraftKings would take action on that, quite frankly. I wish they would take some kind of a prop bet for who's going to be the live audience's favorite, but I don't know. This one is a very confusing fight. We have so much data on Strickland that we also have the bad, right? We've seen so many rounds and so much stuff on Strickland that we even know the rounds that he had trouble in. We know so little about DDP. I really don't think you guys know 2 fights he's had. I don't believe you can even say a second. Not only do I not think you've seen 2 fights, I don't think you could name a second opponent. And I bet real strong you could have named 3. And I'm just sharing with you. I don't think you know very much about a guy. you got a lot of faith in. Lines at DraftKings have moved. I'm not sure they're done. I'm not positive Strickland's going to go off as a favorite. One of the reasons I'm bringing this to you is so you guys will go over there. I'm going to check it again tomorrow. I won't be surprised if it moves back a little bit. Strickland versus DDP. We still got a week to go, but man, I got to tell you, this is the must-see fight that is signed, that is currently booked right now. Of all of them, this one is the must-see.